It's Week 8 of the NFL. And here's J.C. Horn.
Now for the so-called City Beautiful and home to the Madden studios, this is EA Sports coverage of the National Football League from Orlando, Florida. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Panthers of Orlando.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too come in off the bye, so we should have two teams that are eager to get back at it.
And players are creatures of habit. You can bet they enjoyed the time off, but you know they're also ready to get right back into the swing of things.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the second overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule.
He gets this one to Mechie.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, this defense for the Panthers very strong in that victory a week ago.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
Stroud off the play fake. And that's going to be incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defender's minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
37 yards on the punt with no return.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
So no advantage in this game for either quarterback in terms of coming off that open week, huh?
Yeah, they both had buys.
Both had them, so you got to figure both of them went back, watched some extra tape, polished up their game, checked out their fundamentals, but they also have both had an extra week to prepare for each other's defenses. This could be a whole lot of fun.
A man who joined the Panthers from the NFC champs, it's Miles Sanders. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down. But Charles, you know, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
The Panthers at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it, and that's what they're trying to get done here. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea Slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Another run here with Sanders. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
You look at the defense for these Texans.
They come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Meanwhile, the throw by Young was knocked away and incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Young off the play fake. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Denzel Perryman with a sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball is going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game.
And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, heal up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On second down, here's Pierce.
Well, this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Stroud on third down now. Caught left side. Here's Dell.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A play fake. Now Young. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Orlando with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a third down coming up. Young will set to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. On play action, Young. He's got Mingo. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And all the way in for the touchdown. Jonathan Mingo with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
2nd and 10. Stroud to throw yet again here.
Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 44-yard line.
First and 10, it's Pierce.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. Stroud to throw it. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Pierce will try to pick it up.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Stroud now on 4th down.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Panthers will get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
2nd and 7.
They'll go again with Sanders. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Young to throw it. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
.46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
Stroud. Swings this one out wide for Pierce.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Dante Jackson picks it. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Now the Panthers and Miles Sanders headed out for another drive.
Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense, but you know what else is happening too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. That throw by Young incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
And Young's throw there incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The kick by Pinheiro is good.
So he's been automatic to this point in the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Throwing now is Stroud. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you definitely got to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Final play of the half, Stroud.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game, as we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Saints who have the lead in the second quarter. Traquan Smith, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Matthew Stafford, 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they trail the visiting Falcons in that one at halftime. It's Desmond Ridder with a touchdown pass there. What a treat to watch the rookie in that first half. The #1 overall pick, Bryce Young. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead. Both teams making their final adjustments. We're back to football. For the call, right down the street from here, we go back to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. 10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Really a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down at 7.
Another run with Sanders. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 25. 48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, That's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he'll find his way down right around the 12. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And the Panthers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Young.
Adam Thielen, back-to-back catches.
Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected, but sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to, so sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Sanders is into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here's Stroud. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride, and I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm, they've been sharp, they've been on it, and they pick up another first down there.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 8.
They go play action. Young.
He completes this one to Mingo.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
Now a carry for Sanders.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
77 yards on the ground now for Sanders. He's got a first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
They'll run with Sanders.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown.
Giovanni Ricci, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
And here comes the Texans now.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter. Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. That's complete to Dell.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
And Stroud now to throw. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Stroud looking to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
That's one of those interceptions watching from up here. The quarterback wide receiver just looked a little out of sync.
They did look a little out of sync, and yeah, they're going to examine that when they get to the sidelines, and they'll talk about it throughout next week when they watch the tape. But the guy who's going to be there for him, really in his ear, is his center. Because that's a special relationship for a rookie quarterback. Your center handles your line calls. He gets everyone in the proper position to block. He'll be the first guy back to pick you up after you've been knocked down. And that's the guy you watch the extra film with and try and learn the league.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
Young now from the 50. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Malik Collins able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5.
And the Texans will take over. Houston's offense taking over again. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
They intercept Stroud again, the third time in this game. Jeremy Chin picks it off.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Here's Sanders.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
106 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll try to run with Sanders. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. They'll run. It's Sanders. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
And now out comes Houston.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot, That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Orlando, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click the like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon.